big deal for Micah Parsons, but his actions of late apparently have head coach Brian Schottenheimer asking him, what the dealio? Schottenheimer saying he will meet with the Cowboys start today after Parsons was seen lying down on a table for part of the Cowboys game against the Falcons. Coach saying, hey, to figure out what he was doing it and why he was doing it. So, senior NFL writer Jeremy Fowler now joins us. You see the picture right there. I kind of wish I was doing that right now, but that's okay. Jeremy, what are you hearing about whether Micah Parsons will be on the field for the Cowboys opener against the Eagles? I'm asking you this pretty much every day.
For sure. Well, Scooby, despite this resting you're seeing here, Micah Parsons has been working. I've talked to people in the building who said he's been putting in 2-a-days, even though he's not practicing with the team. He's lifting and he's running. He's also a part of the walkthroughs. He's been in every meeting. So the coaches and the people there believe that he's locked in to potentially play week 1 despite what happens with his contract. Now, whether he actually steps on the field is up to him. No hard date yet as to when he's going to start practicing, but they got a lot of other issues to sort out. Cowboys are taking trade calls. Well, they're getting trade calls. They're not really taking them. They don't have any interest in trading them unless it was some crazy deal. They're going to have to go from there. They got about 10 to 12 days to try to bridge the gap on this contract extension.
Talking about the Cowboys is just what we do here at ESPN, and you've been talking about the Browns a lot as well. What can you tell us about their QB plan heading into week 1?
So it's starting to crystallize. They do want to keep 4 quarterbacks. That's their plan right now. And Kenny Pickett has been the one who's injured, but they're still high on him. I expect the Browns to keep him on the active roster, not necessarily put him on like a short-term IR, which would knock him out for 4 weeks, or some sort of physically unable to perform list. So he's had a hamstring issue, some others, but he is starting to practice a little more. You see Dylan Gabriel there. He's made a case for somewhere strong on the depth chart. We'll see where that ends up. Right now, Pickett is number 2 on the depth chart behind Flacco, then the 2 rookies. I'm told that's sort of a plan that's set in sand as opposed to stone. That's just something they have to put out because they have to list the depth chart on their website. But that is still a little bit fluid. They got about 2 weeks of practice time to see who impresses. But both rookies will be on the roster. Kenny Pickett as well. You got Joe Flacco starting. Most teams don't keep 4, but the Browns have sort of stayed true to their plan here. They want the more the merrier in the quarterback room right now.
Hey, the more the merrier here on SportsCenter. That's why Jeremy Fowler is with us. Browns open up the season against the Bengals. Jeremy, appreciate it.
SC3, the 3 NFL headlines you got to know, starting with Micah Parsons and that call me gesture before the Cowboys preseason game Friday against the Falcons. Coach Brian Schottenheimer's taken up that offer, saying he will meet with Parsons today after the linebacker was seen laying down on a training table during a portion of that game.
Well, Buccaneers rookie safety Shiloh Sanders, son of Hall of Famer Deion Sanders, was ejected last night after punching Bills tight end Zach Davidson. Welcome to your Jet 2 holiday. Sanders, who went undrafted, is competing for a roster spot on Tampa Bay. Playing time is back.
Keeping it in this Sanders family, Shador got his final preseason tune-up against the Rams and kind of got tuned up. 3 for 6, 14 yards, sacked 5 times, including that 24-yard sack in the 4th quarter. Football analyst Sam Acho joins us. Sam putting the salmon. Good morning, friend. Earlier, Sam, we heard Jeremy Fowler putting the Browns' plan in focus, saying that they could go with 4 QBs on a 53-man roster. We haven't seen that since the Saints in 2021. And one of those guys was Taysom Hill. It's different. How surprised are you by the Browns deploying a 4 QB roster?
I am surprised, but I shouldn't be. So the Cleveland Browns last year initially had 4 quarterbacks on their active roster. Part of the reason why is that Andrew Berry, their GM, understands how important the quarterback position is. A few years ago, the Cleveland Browns defense was one of the best defenses in the NFL, but quarterback was an issue. Berry said that he sees those last few roster spots as a developmental opportunity. So what better opportunity to have a veteran quarterback in Joe Flacco, along with not just 2 rookies who can develop, but another veteran in Kenny Pickett. If those 2 rookies don't pan out the way you expect and Joe Flacco gets injured, it's good to have Pickett as a backup plan.
And you're talking injuries. Pickett's been dealing with a hamstring. Gabriel had a hamstring. Shador Sanders already an oblique, and the other guy's 40. Sam, hang tight. I know Scoob has a little more to discuss, don't you, bud?
Yeah, let's check in on another QB situation in the Saints. They took on the Broncos. Tyler Shuck and Spencer Rattler battling for the top spot. Rattler is the one to get the start. His first drive led to a field goal, so here we are on his second. Hits Chris Olave on the wide receiver screen. Nice game there. Later in the drive, Rattler is going to fit this. And a tight window to Rashid Shaheed. Drive ended in a field goal, 5 for 8, 43 yards on the day. Head coach Kellen Moore said He did some really good stuff and went through some progressions, but they weren't great on third down. They were 0 for 3. Chuck's turn now in the third quarter on 3rd and 6. Not great on third down here either. Strip sacked, and the Broncos recover. Denver would score a touchdown because of the turnover. Let's see how he responded. Ensuing drive, 3rd and 3. Shuck throws it on target to Maliki Matova for the first down. Drive continues into the 4th on 3rd and 5. Shuck, okay, gets a little tricky here too with the sidearm throw. I see you. Really good stuff from the rookie there. Avoiding pressure. Whoop, whoop. Get out the way. And finding the open man. Getting the first down. Kellen Moore said after the game that Chuck used his feet really well. And you can see it here. 11-yard rushing touchdown. Caps off a 12-play, 77-yard drive. He went 12 for 20, 102 yards on the day. And we're back with Sam Acho now. Sam, the Broncos ended up winning that game to close the preseason out. So how legitimate of a threat is Denver in the AFC West?
Yeah, the Denver Broncos are a rising organization. They are ready to challenge the Kansas City Chiefs. Why do I say that? It's not only quarterback, but it's also their defense. This defense led the NFL in sacks last season. They had 62 sacks, almost 10 more than whoever was second. They have a pass rush specialist coach named B.T. Jordan who trains all the best pass rushers in the NFL. And oh, by the way, he spends a majority of his time with this Broncos defense. But it's not just their defense, it's some offensive additions. They added Evan Ingram as tight end. Evan Ingram used to be with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Not the biggest individual, but he fits perfectly in this offense led by Sean Payton that loves to attack people with tight ends and running backs. There's a lot of talk about a sophomore slump with Bo Nix. Don't expect a sophomore slump this season. Sean Payton and Evan Ingram won't allow it.
Yeah, that'll be fun to watch, but they got the Chiefs, and the Chiefs have won the AFC West each of the last 9 seasons. Now, on the other side, we just saw that highlight. Kellen Moore said he has a tough decision to make on who will be the Saints starting QB. So who should be the starter in 2 words, Sam? Give it to me.
In 2 words, give me Spencer Rattler.
That was more than 2 words. But
that's
I
4
appreciate
words.
it.
Yeah. I can tell you why, too, but that's 4 words. Too many words.
According to the producer in my ear, we got to keep this moving. Maybe we'll bring it back.
Last look at their quarterbacks before the regular season. Joe Flacco was already named starter and looked good in his tune-up, completing 9 of 10. Dylan Gabriel impresses well, throwing for 129 yards and a tud, but Shedeur Sanders struggled, completing just 3 passes and taking 5 sacks, so a lot going on. Let's see if Daniel Oyefusi can help us sort it all out.
The Browns put a bow on the preseason on Saturday, and now all attention turns to Tuesday's roster cutdown deadline. During the game, GM Andrew Berry said that keeping all 4 quarterbacks, Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Dylan Gabriel, and Shedeur Sanders, is, quote, not much of a decision for us. The Browns have already named Flacco the starter for Week 1, but when asked about naming a backup, Coach Kevin Stefanski said he's just not there yet. Pickett would give the team an experienced number 2, but owner Jimmy Haslam has already said it's important to evaluate Gabriel and Sanders ahead of the 2026 draft, when the Browns have 2 first-round picks. For now, the Browns will move forward with their present in Flacco, while their potential future waits in the background. From Cleveland.